You've been lied to about focus. For years, we've been told to try harder, remove distractions, or just be more disciplined. But here's the truth. Focus isn't about fighting your distractions. It's about learning to direct your attention on command. In fact, most of what you've heard about focus is completely wrong. If you've ever sat down to study, to work, to read, and 10 minutes later you're scrolling through your phone wondering what happened, this video is for you. Because today, we're going to break down 3 lies you've been told about focus and what actually works, backed by psychology, neuroscience, and real-life habits. So get comfortable, put your phone away, or not, I know it's YouTube, and let's talk about the truth behind your ability to focus.
Before we get into the lies, let's address the obvious. We live in the most distracting time in human history. Notifications, ads, messages, pop-ups, infinite scrolling. Every single second, your brain is fighting for survival, not from predators, but from information overload. The human brain isn't designed to handle this much stimulation. Evolution built it to notice change, movement, sound, novelty, because thousands of years ago, that's how we stayed alive. Now, that same instinct is hijacked every time a notification dings or your screen lights up. And because your attention is being pulled in so many directions, your mental stamina, your ability to stay present, is shrinking. You get dopamine hits from small, easy actions, checking your messages, refreshing a feed, watching just one more short video. So when you try to do something deep, something that actually matters, your brain resists. It's like trying to sprint after sitting on the couch for 10 years. But here's the twist. Focus isn't something you have or don't have. It's something you train, like a muscle. And most people are training it the wrong way, because they've been told lies. Let's start with the biggest lie. You've probably heard that multitasking, juggling multiple things at once, makes you more productive. You think, I'm answering emails while watching a lecture and checking messages. Look at me, so efficient. But in reality, you're not multitasking. You're task switching, and it's killing your focus. Every time you switch from one task to another, from writing to checking your phone, from reading to replying to a message, your brain has to reset. It takes about 20 minutes to fully regain deep concentration after each switch. So, if you switch tasks just 3 times in an hour, congratulations, you've lost an hour of focus. Neuroscientists call this the attention residue effect. Every time you switch, a part of your brain stays stuck on the previous task. You're not really here. You're half in your email, half in your notes, half in your phone. Your energy fragments, your attention splits, your results drop. In fact, a Stanford University study showed that people who think they're good at multitasking are actually worse at focusing, remembering, and filtering information. The more you multitask, the more your brain gets addicted to it, and the harder it becomes to do one thing deeply. So, what's the truth? The truth is, multitasking trains your brain to crave distraction. And the solution isn't to do more, it's to do one thing fully. It's called single tasking. When you commit to one thing, no tabs open, no notifications, no split attention, your brain stops jumping. It quiets down. You enter a state of deep work, where time disappears and your performance skyrockets. Think of focus as a spotlight. When you shine it on one thing, everything else fades away. When you scatter it in 10 directions, everything becomes blurry.
If you want to build focus, you need to practice doing less, but deeper.
Here's the second lie. People love to say you're just not trying hard enough. You need more willpower. No, that's not how the brain works. Focus doesn't come from force, it comes from flow. When you force yourself to focus, gritting your teeth, fighting distractions, you're actually triggering your brain's stress response. Your cortisol rises, your prefrontal cortex, the part that manages attention, gets overwhelmed, and your mental energy burns out faster. That's why you can't force your way into long periods of focus. You end up mentally exhausted, scrolling your phone as a form of relief, and feeling guilty about it. So if willpower doesn't work, what does? The key is creating the right conditions for focus to happen naturally. Let's break it down. Focus has 3 parts: clarity, knowing exactly what you're doing; simplicity, removing extra friction and choices; energy, having the mental fuel to stay engaged. If one of those is missing, your focus collapses. So, instead of forcing yourself to concentrate, start by fixing your environment. Clarity. Write down your one main task. Be specific. Not work on project, but finish slide 3 of presentation. Simplicity. Remove decisions. Prepare everything before you start. Energy. Don't start focus work when you're tired. Sleep, hydration, and breaks are not optional. The truth is, focus isn't a fight. It's a setup. You don't grind your way into focus. You design your way into focus. That's why top performers, athletes, artists, creators, all rely on routines. They don't depend on motivation. They build systems that make focus automatic. Because your brain loves patterns. When you do the same ritual before starting deep work, same time, same spot, same playlist, your brain learns, oh, we're entering focus mode now. No willpower required. That's what the samurai called keiko, the repetition that builds mastery. Modern science calls it habit formation. Either way, the principle is the same. You don't need to try harder. You need to build better systems. Here's the third lie, and it's one that ruins productivity for millions of people. We're taught that taking breaks is lazy, that if you stop, you'll lose momentum. Wrong again. Your brain isn't a machine. It's more like a muscle. And like any muscle, it needs rest between sets. Focus works in cycles, not straight lines. You can't maintain deep concentration forever. In fact, your attention naturally drops after about 45 to 60 minutes. That's why techniques like the Pomodoro method, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest, are so effective. They match your brain's natural rhythm of attention and recovery. When you take intentional breaks, your mind doesn't wander aimlessly. It processes. During rest, your brain consolidates what you've learned, organizes ideas, and restores mental clarity. That's why your best insights often come in the shower or on a walk, not when you're staring at your screen. So no, breaks aren't distractions. They're part of the system. Short breaks, micro-meditations, stretching, a glass of water, a minute of deep breathing, they all reset your attention. The key is to take active rest, not passive escape. Scrolling on social media doesn't count. That just floods your mind with new noise. The goal is to let your attention exhale so it can come back sharper. Here's the part nobody tells you. Your brain wasn't built for the world you're living in. You weren't born into an environment of constant noise, constant notifications, constant stimulation. Your brain is an ancient machine trying to operate in a hyper-digital world that's changing faster than evolution can keep up. Inside your brain, there are two attention systems, and they're fighting each other all day long. One is the focus system, top-down attention. This is your intentional attention, the part of your brain that helps you work deeply, study for long periods, finish important tasks, and stay calm and present. It's slow, deliberate, and effortful. It uses the prefrontal cortex, one of the most fragile and energy-demanding parts of your brain. Two is the distraction system, bottom-up attention. This system reacts instantly to movement, noise, novelty, anything emotionally stimulating. It kept your ancestors alive because spotting a moving shadow could mean life or death. But today, that system is triggered by scrolling, notifications, ads, loud TikTok sounds, message bubbles, breaking news, suggested for you feeds. Every app on your phone is built to hijack your bottom-up attention. And here's the truth. You're not distracted because you're weak. You're distracted because billion-dollar companies are competing for your attention 24/7. Your focus system simply cannot overpower the distraction system if your environment is designed to pull you in 100 different directions. But nothing is wrong with your brain. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. The key isn't trying harder. It's learning how to train your attention the right way and create an environment where focus becomes natural.
Most people think focus works like a switch. You turn it on or off. But focus is more like a muscle. It strengthens when trained, it weakens when ignored, it grows through resistance. It needs rest between sets. When you try to focus for hours without any training, you're doing the mental equivalent of walking into a gym and trying to deadlift 200 kilograms on the first day. You don't need more pressure. You need progression. Here's how to rebuild your ability to focus from the ground up. Step 1. Start with micro-focus. Just 5 minutes. 5 minutes doesn't scare your brain. 5 minutes doesn't trigger stress or perfectionism. Set a timer. Pick one task. Commit for 5 minutes. That's it. Why does this work? Because the biggest enemy of focus isn't distraction. It's starting. When you start, you build momentum. When you build momentum, your brain stops resisting. And more often than not, you continue past the 5-minute mark because getting started is the hardest part. Step 2. Embrace the single task rule. During your 5-minute deep focus, no switching, no checking, no pausing, no extra tabs, no phones nearby. You're training your mind to stay on one target. This is how you reverse the habit of multitasking. Your attention becomes sharper when it has only one direction. And over time, you become someone who can drop into deep work quickly and reliably. Step 3. Add physical friction to your distractions. Discipline is unreliable. Environment is undefeated. Stop relying on inner strength during focus sessions. Instead, reduce the temptation itself. Examples: put your phone in another room. Use website blockers. Turn off all notifications except emergencies. Keep your desk clean. Use a dedicated focus space. If distractions are easy to reach, your brain will reach for them. Not because you're weak, but because your brain takes the easiest path for dopamine. Make distraction inconvenient. Make focus the default. Step 4. Build your focus ladder. When 5 minutes feels easy, go to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, until you reach 25 minutes, the ideal length for a Pomodoro session. Why 25 minutes? because the brain can maintain deep, undivided focus for that long before attention naturally dips. Then you break, then you repeat. This rhythm helps you build attention endurance without burning out. Step 5. Make focus a ritual. Here's a secret few people understand. Focus becomes easy when it becomes predictable. Ritual beats motivation every time. If your brain knows that this room, this playlist, this time, this drink, this lighting means deep work starts now, then your brain enters focus faster. Athletes warm up to perform. You need a warm-up routine for mental performance. This could be clearing your desk, brewing tea or coffee, lighting a candle, opening your notebook, putting on your focus soundtrack. Rituals reduce resistance. Rituals reduce decisions. Rituals tell your brain it's time to work deeply.
Let's talk about something crucial. Dopamine. Most people misunderstand motivation. They think lack of motivation means lack of desire. No, lack of motivation is usually a dopamine imbalance. Every time you scroll, switch tasks, check your phone, or chase quick stimulation, your dopamine spikes. But here's the problem. What spikes must crash. And when dopamine crashes, everything important feels boring. Studying, working, reading, thinking, building. Not because these things are inherently boring, but because your brain is overstimulated. This is why you can watch TikToks for 2 hours but can't study for 20 minutes. It's not you. It's your dopamine baseline. To rebuild focus, you must rebuild dopamine. Here's how. 1. Start your mornings with low stimulus. No phone for the first 30 minutes. Let your brain wake up naturally. This resets your dopamine sensitivity and gives you better focus for the next 4 to 6 hours. 2. Replace passive breaks with active breaks. Scrolling is not a break, it's stimulation. Instead, stretch, breathe, walk, drink water. Close your eyes for 60 seconds. These restore dopamine without overstimulating your attention. 3. Do hard things first. Your dopamine is highest in the morning. This is the best time for studying, writing, creating, and solving complex problems. Use your brain's natural chemistry to your advantage.
I'll say it again because it's that important. Willpower is not the key to focus. Environment is. A cluttered environment creates a cluttered mind. A chaotic environment creates chaotic thoughts. A distracting environment creates a distracted person. Your space should reflect who you want to become, not who you've been. To build a focus-friendly environment, remove all visible distractions. Keep only essential tools on your desk. Use warm, calm lighting. Eliminate noise and visual chaos. Create a sacred work corner, your personal deep work zone. When you walk into this space, your brain should automatically know, this is where I focus. Environment shapes behavior. Behavior shapes habits. Habits shape identity. This is how you rebuild yourself into someone with powerful, unshakable focus. We've now exposed the lies, and we've uncovered the truth behind how your attention system, dopamine system, and environment shape your ability to focus. But we're not done. In Part 3, we'll break down how to create Deep work blocks, how to engineer a distraction-proof mind, how to reprogram your habits long-term, how to build a daily routine where focus becomes automatic. Ready for the final transformation?
Now that you understand the mechanics of focus, the lies, the truth, the brain systems, the dopamine circuits, it's time to build the ultimate tool: deep work blocks. Deep work, a term coined by Cal Newport, is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. This is where you produce your best work, the kind of work that moves your life forward. And here's the mistake most people make. They treat deep work like a special occasion, something you do only when you feel inspired or when the deadline is close. But deep work is a skill, not an emotional state. And like any skill, you must create intentional blocks in your day to practice it. Let's break down exactly how to create these blocks. 1. Define your one thing. Every deep work block should focus on one high-value task. Not study, not work, not be productive. That's vague, and vague creates chaos. Instead, choose something specific. I will write 1 page of my report. I will analyze Chapter 3. I will edit 1,000 words. I will solve 10 problems. I will design the structure for the video script. Clarity reduces resistance. Clarity tells your brain exactly what to do. 2. Set the duration. Start simple. Beginners, 25 minutes. Intermediate, 40 minutes. Advanced, 60 to 90 minutes. Your deep work block should be challenging but not overwhelming. If you cannot maintain focus for the entire block, reduce it. Deep work is like interval training. You need to respect your limits while slowly expanding them. 3. Remove all points of friction. Before the block starts, phone outside the room. Only one tab open. Clear your desk. Prepare your water. Close all message apps. Use sight blockers if needed. Put on a focus soundtrack. Make the path to starting as smooth as possible. Make distractions feel far away. 4. Begin with a 10-second ritual. This part is powerful. Do something small, symbolic, consistent. Light a candle, put on your headphones, open your notebook, clear your breath, stretch your hands, whisper your intention. You're signaling to your brain, we're entering focus mode now. Your brain loves repetition. It associates the ritual with deep work over time. 5. Do not stop until the timer ends. Even if you feel bored, even if you feel restless, even if your mind wanders. Staying in the block trains your attention, your patience, your cognitive endurance, your mental discipline. When the timer ends, then you rest. That's the key. Because the real battle is not distraction, it's your mind's craving for instant comfort. When you learn to resist that, your focus becomes unshakable.
Now let's go deeper. Even outside deep work blocks, the modern world tries to steal your attention. So you need to build what I call a distraction-proof mind. Think of it like installing mental firewalls. Here's how. 1. Reduce notification noise. Turn off all notifications except calls, essential apps you choose intentionally. You don't need a vibration every time someone posts a photo. You don't need a banner for every promotion. You don't need reminders from apps trying to steal your time. Silence is clarity. 2. Use dopamine-fast zones. Create spaces where no phone, no scrolling, no messages, no stimulation. For example, bedroom, kitchen, your study area, morning routine, walking time. These phone-free zones reset your baseline attention. 3. Practice neuro-reset breathing. Every 60 to 90 minutes, stop and do 20 to 30 seconds of deep breathing. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 2 seconds, exhale 6 to 8 seconds. This is scientifically proven to reset your nervous system, restore focus, reduce mental noise, and lower stress. You can't control your thoughts, but you can control your breath, and your breath controls your state. 4. Keep your tools minimalist. If your desk has too many notebooks, multiple pens, random items, clutter everywhere, your attention will fragment. Use one pen, one notebook, one workspace. Minimalism is not aesthetic, it's psychological. When the environment is simple, your mind becomes sharp.
Imagine this. You wake up, and focus isn't something you try to do. It's something you naturally step into. It's just who you are. That's the goal of long-term reprogramming. Transforming focus from a behavior into a habit, into a system, into an identity. Let's build that identity layer by layer. Identity layer 1. Daily foundations. These are the non-negotiables. Consistent sleep, hydration, morning sunlight, balanced meals, some physical movement. If your biology is out of balance, your focus will always suffer. Your brain is not a machine. It's a living system. Treat it with respect. Identity layer 2. Intentional inputs. What you consume becomes your mind. So choose inputs that energize you, educate you, inspire you, sharpen you. Instead of endless scrolling, try long-form videos, podcasts, books, courses, documentaries. This strengthens your attention span. Identity layer 3. Eliminating the attention traps. Identify the things that steal your focus. YouTube shorts, TikTok loops, constant messaging, chaotic environments, multitasking, emotional triggers. These are attention traps. They drain your mental bandwidth. Remove them slowly, intentionally. Each removal restores your clarity. Identity layer 4. Building the focused self. Every day you do deep work, even just 10 minutes, you're telling your brain, this is who I am. Every time you finish a focus block, self-respect increases. Every time you resist distraction, identity strengthens. Every time you push through discomfort, your mind becomes stronger. Focus is no longer an effort, it becomes a part of you. Let me leave you with something powerful. You were not born with a broken attention span. You were born with a brain designed for survival. And now you're living in a world designed for distraction. But once you understand the truth, once you know how your brain works, once you know how dopamine shapes your motivation, once you know how to build systems instead of relying on willpower, then focus becomes simple. Not easy, but simple. Focus is not about being strict. Focus is about being intentional. It's about choosing depth over noise, clarity over chaos, purpose over pleasure. If you apply everything in this video,
You won't just get better at focusing. You'll become someone who thinks clearly, works deeply, creates consistently, learns faster, stays calm, stays present, stays in control. And in a world full of distractions, a focused mind is a superpower. This isn't just about productivity. It's about reclaiming your attention and reclaiming your life. If you want more videos that help you rebuild your mind, hit subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. What was the biggest lie about focus you believed before this?